Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Thursday, December 7th, 2017. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. I'm speaking from experience when I say that bodybuilding is absolutely a marathon and not a sprint. That being said, as a former distance runner, I sure do like the pace that Fred SMALLS is working at right now. Late last week, the Pride of Delaware released some video from one of his latest back training efforts, where we see the fruits of his off-season labor starting to pay off. One of the things I've always loved about Fred SMALLS is the blue-collar work ethic he brings to the gym day in and day out. And as long as he's willing to keep fine-tuning the machine, I think we'll keep seeing him working his way up and becoming one of the more complete athletes in the game. Deep down inside, I think every bodybuilder's dream is to live a life where they do absolutely nothing other than eat, sleep, and train. And when you live way out in the middle of nowhere like rising Canadian big man Dana Baker, all of a sudden that whole scenario starts to become more and more of a possibility. Late last week, the 20-something monster in training released his latest round of off-season updates, showing off a legitimate 260-plus pounds of grade A nightmarish muscle. My sources up north tell me that Baker had an insanely productive last few months, and based on what I've seen lately, I can't say that I disagree. The Canadian national scene has produced some real game changers in recent years, and if this kid can manage to keep it all together, he seems like a likely candidate to be the next great one to hit the scene. One of the real keys to growth in life and in bodybuilding is having the ability to learn from your mistakes. And with one contest under his belt now in his young pro career, the learning process has officially begun for classic physique standout Nat Paul. A few weeks after rocking the stage back at the Ferrigno Legacy Classic, Paul and his team are already hard at work on their preparations for the 2018 season. Even at this stage of his young career, you can see that Paul has enormous potential to be a force on the pro stage for many years to come. And once he gets a few more shows under his belt, I think he's got a shot at developing into one of the elite talents in the division. When I see an athlete who stays in shape year-round, it tells me that they understand what it means to go about the business of mastering their craft. And in the figure division, I don't see too many athletes who look like they're more about their business than Louise Rodgers. This week, the Rodgers camp caught everyone by surprise when they released some rare training video of the veteran figure standout knocking out a little bit of ab work. In typical Louise Rodgers fashion, she's still rocking almost flawless conditioning, despite the fact that she's already into the heart of her off-season program. In the right lineup, Rodgers is the sort of athlete who can present all sorts of problems. So if you can take the time to pick her spots correctly, there's a pretty good chance we see her hammer out a few top 3 finishes or better in 2018. People like to say that repetition is the mother of skill. And if that happens to be the case, I guess that makes Amit Roy one highly skilled individual. This week, the 2017 North American overall classic physique champ was spotted getting in some honest back work at Bev Francis Powerhouse Gym as he starts to round the corner in his latest phase of his off-season program. For anyone who's been following Roy and his incredible journey over these last few years, I'm sure it brings a smile to your face to see him finally cross over that threshold into the promised land of the IFBB. But now that he's finally arrived, let's see if he can keep that same fire for greatness burning that's brought him this far. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.